Tell me the first time you got into trouble. What happened, and then back up from there and tell me what it was that got you in trouble.
Yes. So, a few friends went into the school and were just worried about us. When I went and talked to them after, that's what they said. Is they were just concerned that we were heading in that direction. They wanted to make sure we were talking with professors and things like that. I'd already been talking with. My reaction was right away, I'm going to go talk to the professors. This is too big of a risk. This affects everybody in my life. Like, if God came to earth and told us this is what baptism means and we got it wrong, we kind of got a big problem on our hands. So I was just very open, but they went to the professors and we got an email. We got an email back asking us to come in and discuss our commitment to the doctrinal standard as put in the student handbook. So we're like, okay. Me, Michael Hall, Christian Wagner, and my brother were all called in. At the time, like I said, I was practically holding justification in the Catholic sense, right? So where it's an infusion of grace, the renewal of the interior man is the basis of the legal imputation. The doctrinal statement, I think they emailed it to us or something before we went in. And when we went in for that first meeting, they asked us kind of what we thought of it. And so there were only two professors. The professor who I'd been talking to the whole time, and he was like the student head at the time, I think. He's like a student pastor, I believe. And they kind of just asked me questions about the paper, and I was like, I can affirm the words here, like I can affirm that justification happens on the basis of a legal imputation, but I know what you mean, and I don't mean that. They asked about the sacraments, and I was like, I don't agree with you on the sacraments either. No, there's really no way I can agree with you on that right now. I could be convinced otherwise, but I can't see it here. And I forget exactly where I was, but I remember somebody asking me about so what are you thinking about going to Rome? And my answer was like, I just saw a video the other day of Pope Francis talking to a little kid and how the little kid's dad, who was an atheist, is going to go to heaven. And that is just like out there, Yeah. And there's, that's what I have to say at the moment. Yeah. I don't know, it's a lot to think about. And so after that, the other three went in as well. And then we came back in. So
you weren't
a few days
together
later.
as you were being questioned?
No,
Okay.
the questions one by one. So then they brought us in the next few days. All the meetings were like half an hour apart, and it was like Liam would meet with them, then Christian would meet with them, then Michael would meet with them, and then I would meet with them. The fact that they put me last was a general indication to me. I knew the other three had said they could agree with the doctrinal statement. So Liam at the time could. Michael could as well. But Michael was also like questioning the entire notion of who are you to ask me what my private thought is, right? I'm not sure that that's something that's like normal to do, is question like what I'm thinking interiorly.
Right. You
like
weren't trying to proselytize other students.
Right.
Or
We're just thinking through this. Yeah. And he was much more quiet about it than me. I was out there like, I have to ask questions because I need to know, right? And I can't just sit here. So he was in the last semester of his senior year. So he didn't end up getting suspended or anything. Christian, when they came in for that second meeting, they questioned him more. And he ended up getting himself expelled. And my meeting was, still one of the weirdest kind of memories I have. Was they called us in, and there was there's four people in the room. So like the president of the school, the academic dean, somebody who was recording what was going on, and then like the pastor. And they kind of talked with me and said, we're going to have to suspend you until you can grant our statement of faith. We would love to still talk with you through these things. But yeah, since due to your own admission that you can't grant it, at least in the same sense, and thank you for not equivocating or something like that, we're going to have to suspend you until then.
That seems like a reasonable response.
Yeah, right. It was. I think it was.
The fact
in
that
some
they
ways.
were willing to discuss with you until you could hold those views. They didn't just sort of banish you.
Yeah, right. I don't really have any qualms with the way they handled it. I think maybe if they had asked me more questions, I would have appreciated it, you know. But I had already been talking with Dr. Math. I don't want to name anybody.
No, not Shaven. Oh, I see. Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. With one of the professors there. And we talked through a lot of this stuff. They knew that. I don't think there's a great danger in naming him, but they knew kind of that I was talking with people about it. Maybe that's why they didn't feel inclined to ask a ton of questions, but it felt to me just very, very odd the way that it went, you know, like it just happened very quickly. And I did appreciate the way it was handled, you know. The academic dean, very loving and kind man. I met with him several times afterwards, and we had just some wonderful conversations. But he said in there, you know, this is really for you in a way. Like, this is a crisis. You need time to process this. It's like, true, I do. Yeah. And then they said, you know, we started kind of hearing bubbling up among the students, and I was like, did I cause that? You know, I really didn't mean to cause a gigantic, you know, thing among the students. This was not at all my goal. And he's like, no. And we just kind of heard things going on, and we just really wanted to check in with you guys and make sure you're still, you know, holding our statement of faith. And the president of the school kind of looked over and was like, you actually care about what's going on with the students. And I was like, I do. I mean, I really, like, this is a big thing, you know, like, this is the gospel we're talking about. And he was like, yeah. And then he's like, you're a good man. And that was like the best compliment I ever got, you know, was while being suspended. Hearing that, it was a really weird kind of moment.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe or you're a dingus. What's a dingus exactly?
Used to refer to something one cannot or does not wish to name specifically.
You don't have to subscribe, but if you did, I'd love it. You dingus.
Like the video. That's who we're using that one. Take one.